Immortals have banned Blitz and Clash. They have not allowed either of those two shield operators to come into play. At the same time, you're generally looking at a constant Clash or Echo ban from Team 1, but also a mix of Hibana, Glaz, and Lion.
I think the Glaz ban makes a lot of sense here for Team 1, and I'm pretty sure they are going to be banning out that. I'll be surprised if they don't, but no, it's actually going to be the Lion ban. I mean, also makes a lot of sense, and yeah, I think Immortals is just going to ban out the Blitz and the Clash again. Both those bans make a lot of sense on Oregon moving in, especially Blitz. Very, very powerful on Oregon, especially for that sort of West main clear that we see so much.
And what that will free up is Team 1 obviously starting on the defense. If it is a Clash that gets taken off, they will have that joyous choice of do they hold onto Mirror for their opening 5 on Oregon, or do they opt to ban it and instead take out something from Immortals' defense? How much are they going to put as a weight behind their choice here?
Clash is going to get banned by Immortals as predicted, but Team 1 are left with a lot of choice now, and I feel like an Echo ban is probably the most sense for them, considering they are they are starting on the defense. But it's actually going to be the Maestro, so it's normally one of those three. It's normally Maestro, Echo, or Mirror, but we normally don't see Mirror get banned if you start on that already.
Yeah, she's such a good ace to hold in your hand on this one. It's a big waste to throw away a Mirror, and obviously when you've got her, especially on this kind of map, you're expected to at least pull 4 of these 5 normally. But hey, you never know what's going to happen. Taking Maestro is a clever move. Obviously, Novus is a pretty big Maestro player. So yeah, it's nice to kind of take him out of their wheelhouse, but we fall down to basement for the first hold with a fairly... You can kind of predict how they're going to play this, Team 1.
Yeah, we'll see how indeed it will go down. The laundry room and supply room defense, but Panico, surprisingly not going to be bringing the Jaeger, is going to switch onto the Doc, and Yuk going to be bringing the Ying instead of the Glaz, which is an interesting 6-pick as well. We're doing what the thought process is here, because I don't know, I'm looking into this default lineup, and I really can't see why you would pick a Ying into this, but Ying is fairly powerful in Oregon. There's a lot of those closed-in spaces. Maybe they're looking at this lineup and they're thinking they're going to go with Kids Room first.
Yeah, I mean, the way they've kind of... it's generally spawned in a mix of main and construction as well, so you're kind of thinking, okay, well, why have they paired up the Hibana and the Mirror, the Hibana and the Ying even? Are they going to try and get to that drop down? Are they going to try and utilize those two operators to get a better control and get a push over Row? Maybe use the Candelas to clear out dorms or kitchen. It'd be interesting to see how they decide, because they also have obviously the Jackal and the Ash and the Sledge spawning together, and that is a very strong roam clear unit.
Yeah, no, that is definitely a very strong roam clearing indeed. But I'm going to be interested to see how these Candelas get used, because we saw Liquid, and especially Neski, use Ying quite a lot, but we didn't really see any successful usage here. So we'll see how it goes down, and we'll see what is going to go through as Team 1 start their defense downstairs, and Panico going to go for the spawn peak where he can. Let's see how it does go down, just holding down these angles, looking onto Junkyard, but not seeing any kills go down just yet.
Now, obviously, Panico is watching that exceptionally long sightline, so aware of how these guys are playing, but that Ash is instantly getting into a fight. Ion drops Novus, and the Diffuser with the Ash goes down as well at the top of stairs. That is a very big, quick take, and now it is down to Yuk and Cyber to start the reclaim, pincering from either side, but having the Ash entry frag whilst carrying the Diffuser and getting that dropped. You can hear that Lesion is very happy to try and hold it. Cyber does manage to creep and grab it, but Yuk suffering bullets across Attic. They're really struggling to get control of dorms here.
Very unimpressive roam clear so far coming out from Immortals, considering how well they were set up to go into that. But great work coming out from Team 1 right now to score the first kill onto the Ash entry. And it's just all going so badly for them. There's the Echo from GDN there. No IQ coming up from Immortals right now. They'll have no idea the Yokai drone is there. Diogo will get hit by it and he will go down to GDN. Oh no, that's a disaster coming out, and just everyone's just getting slaughtered right now. And it's going to be all into the hands of one. He's the only Len left remaining, and really living up to his namesake here as he moves into the garage.
Yeah, well, we were going to question, obviously, how they're going to use these Candelas, how they're going to go for the clear, and they didn't use them at all, unfortunately. One gets hit by the Echo drone. You can see they're wanting to bring this fight and not let him get any ground at all. The obviously GDN working very well alongside, and they're picking those fights. Doc is overhealing and overcharging. They're just gonna take it. Ion cleans up against one. I believe Ion got the 3K during that round, and hey, there couldn't be a better start for Team 1.
Something I also realized here as well, that they didn't go for the glass ban because Ion played a very, very nice glass earlier in the tournament.
Yeah. So I guess we'll have to see. Obviously, you gotta wait behind your decisions. You gotta stay behind your decisions. When something like this happens on the first round, it's a big mental game. Well, it's not the biggest mental game, but you've got to kind of wipe it off and say, okay, that was nothing went right there for us. They flawlessed us, and we've seen obviously that happen a couple times throughout this tournament. And these guys are very good at coming back. But at the same time, as you said, with the operators they've got and the operators they've taken off the table against a defense on this, it's a bit of an uphill.
It is a bit of an uphill indeed. Let's go through now into round number 2 and see how it is going to go down, as Team 1 are going to go to the kids' dorms and dorms main hold defense this time. Immortals have really got to shrug that off their shoulders, turn over a new leaf, and see what they can do here differently.
Attackers need to locate.
So generally, obviously, they had the armory, they had the basement set up. They were very much locked down in laundry, but it was never tested. So I think hopefully this will be the first round where we actually start to see this defense get tested. And you can see where Panico is reinforcing, and normally, especially with kind of the spawn points, especially with what we're seeing from the operator selection, that is going to be the biggest wall of contention. You can expect the Ying to generally set up there. Obviously, one is definitely going to have to roll over there as the Thermite getting control and shutting down those mutes. That's going to be a big part of how well they can take this.
This mirror again. I think they just know that I get annoyed from this mirror. But again, I just want to bring up for people who maybe weren't aware of my issues with this mirror before. The mirror that Huxor just put down in Armory Corridor, it really needs someone to be playing in Big Tower. And I really hope that Ion is going to stay here and use that Valkyrie cam he just put down on the Garden Shed in order to do that aggressively. Because if he doesn't, someone is going to repel on that window, and they're going to take out that mirror very quickly. And on top of that,
I was about to say, your other pet peeve is the reinforced wall between dorms.
Well, yeah, that is bad as well, but I wasn't really going to go all the way there.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, on top of that, it's very easy to pop that mirror from the other side as well, using like a Hibana and a Thatcher combo. We don't have any of those operators being brought here from Immortals. And if they can't get rid of this mirror that easily, that might actually go against them.
Yeah, well, that was the main thing you kind of noticed as the whole, as I said, getting control of the mutes and almost dropping Mute himself there. Not quite sure how Mute survived, but wasn't the greatest firefight to pick. Cyber locks down Panico from underneath. That is the Mute off the board, but now they've got to get his jammers as well. But Falk, Ion has pushed up in meeting, and some brilliant drone work and teamwork from Immortals just takes him off the board.
Much better roam play coming out from Cyber here, as he will start to move through below. Using the book Soft Destruction, Graylius Novis takes Huxor off the board. And this may just go flawless completely in the opposite direction right now. They're in a 5v1 now as Novis takes down GDN from the bottom of White Stairs. All down to iBlacks with the M870. He's not having a good job. They know exactly where he is, just at the top of those White Stairs. Tries to move down. Just see the book and takes him down. Look at the range of that M870. Will try and bring it in. But no, Diogo will shut him down. Immortals take round number 2 in a much, much better performance.
Yeah, you could tell from that round they were communicating, they were moving as a unit. Obviously, there was a couple of peaks in that where you're a little bit curious of what Team 1 were doing. The push down the stairwell towards the end of there with the shotgun before the Jaeger did it properly was quite aggressive. The Mute peeking out the window against the Jackal, and it's not the first time we've even seen that peek as well. We've seen that done before and surprisingly gone the other way. But, yeah, you know, it just feels a little bit like getting into the game. A little bit like early round teething issues. It'll be nice to see how this develops between these guys.
It will be nice to see how it goes down. So we see yet another kids' dorms main whole defense coming out, and this time Ion is going to be bringing in the Bandit. So no Mute coming out this time from Team 1. And I gotta say, do you agree with that strategy? Because it didn't really seem to affect the drone work coming out at all.
No, obviously, as I said, that big wall could be a point of contention, but instead they just went for frags. They managed to pick it off, and there was a lot of attempted counter-peeking and pushing. The buck underneath, generally uncontested, really just opened up the heart of that defense and tore it to shreds. So it'll be interesting to see how they try to deal with Cyber. Now, we've actually seen quite a lot of Buck bans throughout these games.
We have and we haven't. We've seen a lot of Buck bans, but from Liquid and basically no one else.
Yeah, true. They have been focal points of this tournament so far, but yeah, it's always nice to see Buck kind of get brought out because he's very much gone through a little bit of a renaissance towards the second half of this season overall across all the regions. They're really finding new ways to just utilize him and use him. And you can see the amount of shotguns on Team 1 here. They've really got a lot of openings that they want to hold this with.
Yeah, we'll see how he does go down as we see Team 1 starting out, trying to go for their first win upstairs, of course. We'll see how he goes down, but I'm going to guess that Cyber, again, is going to be pretty key to how this goes down. The amount of vertical play he opened up was beautifully played from him, but also the amount of drone work that came out from Immortals meant for a little bit of a nice roam clear.
Very importantly, you can see that they've realized that Cyber was the big, it was the final straw on the camel's back. It pulled all of the defense. It was the thread pull, and they have set up the mirrors downstairs to just watch for the exact same push. You can see mirrors aggressively peeking and takes the frag.
Hugzor just getting so aggressive with the outside of the bathroom there, takes down Cyber, and that is a very important kill coming out from Immortals right now. It's not looking too good for them as Panico will return with his Echo drone upstairs. iBlack still looking for that kill on Logic stairs, but will not find it just yet. Meanwhile, Ion just still holding on Kitchen, using this mirror window to his advantage, and just Immortals just cannot get an entry here at all.
No, they're really struggling. Obviously, they put a lot behind the Buck. Diogo is still free to open up the big window there. But obviously, that defense underneath now is a very big hold, especially when you still have Hugzor there as a mirror, because she does have the shotgun utility to start blowing open the roof if she needs to.
Yeah, indeed. Let's go through now. It's a 5v4 situation. Not looking too good for Immortals as the Bandage goes for a run out. Ion, that is a very late run out, but he will not actually get detected. Very well done, but he will get caught out. Diogo will shut him down. Beautifully done there from Diogo. Very patient, but 1 minute left to go on the clock. And Immortals really haven't made too much headway here.
No, the Bandit is off the board, which is quite a big take for them to now start being able to push against these reinforced walls. But iBlack's just peeks and takes the Ying. That was a very clean kill. Novus finds a return frag against Hugzor, but the Texan Dynamite is going down.
But it's not going to matter because iBlack will shut down one as he tries to detonate it. Beautifully played from iBlack there. Goes for the quick beat, but can't quite find the kill into Diogo. Still all alone in Armory Corridor. He's still going to deal with the Jaeger, but 35 seconds left to go on the clock. He really doesn't have too much of an opportunity. Almost kills Novis there as well. But Novis will move up. He will recover the diffuser. And just Diogo desperately looking for this Echo drone, but it's still in the master bedroom. Novis does manage to open up a small closet on the walk-in, but gets down by the smoke. And now it's all down to Diogo. He does recover the diffuser. He got 2 smoke grenades, but he's on very little HP and doesn't really have an entry into the site just yet. I mean, walk-in was opened up, but he's not going to get called out. He gets out a shotgun and GDN just kills him.
Well, we're talking about early round blues and shaking off Rust. And there's, again, a few moments in that round where you're just kind of pushing the wrong angles, kind of pushing the misplays, but it's very back and forth between these guys. It's starting to balance out a bit more. There was some great counter-fragging and refragging in that round, obviously, but they were struggling, as you said, as soon as that Buck went off the board, struggling just to find a way to push into this defense.
Much better strategy, though, from Team 1.
Definitely, definitely. The way they locked off the Buck and obviously getting the Buck on the first pick just really, really took him out of their entire strategy. And when you've got to rely on your plan Bs and your plan Cs, sometimes, well, what we saw just happened.
We will see how it goes down as we go to a laundry supply room defense yet again. And can you see what I can see from Team 1? Oh no, Panico is actually going to switch onto the mute. Kind of surprising that he did that, although maybe they put that out there just as so that Immortals can be like, oh, they're probably going to be peeking fairly aggressively.
A bit of fear.
Then they switch around and they kind of reduce their strategy. But we'll see how he goes down for Team 1 here and see how they want to play this. But having a mute downstairs, that's fairly common strategy. And maybe they also thought, okay, there's no Thatcher and no Maverick from the other side.
Yeah, we're really not seeing any either of those operators actually coming into to this push from Immortals. They're seemingly wanting to go for those frags, seemingly wanting to go for those picks. And to be fair, so far Team 1 have had a very aggressive kind of setup, apart from the round that they lost. They've generally been quite aggressive. So Immortals are finding the fights not where they wanted to and often losing them instead. But it will be interesting to see how they utilize this, especially as they've now got Decabe in the lineup, which is arguably going to be a new part of their push, swapping out the Ying for the Decabe.
We'll see how it goes now, as we will see Team 1 hold it all down. And it will be Ion who's playing upstairs in meeting hall. But yeah, I mean, Panico playing the mute shotgun isn't too far out there just because recently we've seen a lot of that. But Electric Hatch is just going to be held down by Ion, and Cyber just gets shut down, tries to go for the rush. Hugzol will take down Novice, and it's all just falling apart. GDN takes down one with a shotgun, and Yuk just trying to hold it down, but they can't find the entry here. Hugzol peeks out into Electric, and yeah, Diogo will be left alone in a 1v5. Takes out Iblax, but no, can't find another. Panico sitting at the bottom of the lodgy stairs will shut him down. Team 1, beautifully done by them on the defense, but some big misreads coming out from Immortals here. Yeah,
they threw themselves at the trap. They threw themselves directly towards Electric Hatch, and it was opened and just being watched. That was every coach's dream of how a team would attack that strategy, and you can see why. It just completely picked it apart.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with if you see that the construction, like bunker entrance wall, is soft, just pushing in there with a bucket and trying to get it quickly open. But Electric Hatch was open, and
yeah,
they were exactly watching it. So I really don't agree with trying to do that when Team 1 are very much ready for it. And again, we're going to see a very, very quick round go down into Team 1's favor. Again, onto Laundry as well. So we are going to see them go to rear stage and Watchtower, simply because it's an objective rotation parameter. If they've either got to go there, or they have to go to kitchen dining hall.
Yep, and these guys seem much happier to go to rear stage. Obviously, IQ is being brought out for the first time, and so far, yeah, the Echo has caused them a fair little bit of issues, but also just in the amount of information and communication. You can really see it in the way Team 1 is moving and holding, and the fact that we have seen the drone itself utilized around the roamers. It's a very, very good addition to the way they like to control these maps.
It is a good addition indeed. We'll see how it goes down. As I often say with this big tower defense, it's honestly not easy to hold on to, but it is possible, especially with a mirror here.
Yeah, I think obviously we've seen these guys do a few different iterations, and by these guys I mean during the tournament, just a few different iterations of how they're holding it and how they're watching it. But again, every team seems to be bringing their own little touches to it and little tweaks to it. There's a couple of operators you generally need. Valk is obviously one of them, and as you said, mirror makes it a lot easier, but there is instantly shots going from the Ash towards the top of tower. Whether they're going to try and get those counter picks, I assume that would be Iblax playing up there, but it's in fact Echo that's suffering a bit of damage.
But I mean, Echo also has an ACOG to be able to peek this out as well on the second floor, but I don't think we actually have anyone right now from Team 1 who's playing that top floor, but Iblax will manage to rotate up, so yeah, you are correct, he will be rotating up there and try to get all the way up, but that is a really nice Echo drone coming out from Hugzord right now, because that can see right onto that window. Exactly
what I said, they are using those Echo drones to get so much information, combine that with an ACOG peek, and the way these guys have been playing, that is such a good strategy if your team can pull it off.
And also what I wanted to mention is right below where that Echo drone is, the floor's actually been destroyed, so that Echo drone can see all the way downstairs onto the stairs. So
it's a good boy. It's a veritable good boy, that Echo drone.
We'll see how he goes down, as Novi's still struggling to find his entry right now. He's waiting for the runouts to come. He will go for a little bit of a look at, but oh, what a shot from Yuk. With that IQ scanner, we'll be able to take Hugzord's Echo drone off the ball, so that's quite a lot of good work being done here. Diogo, you could go for a beautiful shot right now and try and take them out, but this is very, very slow work from Immortals, but they are starting to affect the utility.
Yeah, they are trying to get control of the top of tower, and Diogo drops Iblax with some nice shooting, especially with how much of Immortals are crowding around those top windows. They're starting to put pressure. It looks like Panico is looking for a close quarters fight as well, as utility starts to roll in. Panico's pulled back. Oh, finds the feet of Novus beautifully through the railing there. And again, grenades are rolling down Oh, a little bit more cook there. But Panico is going to live up to the name and almost pull off a knife. But Cyber and Yuka there to clean up. 2 more frags, just under a minute left on the clock.
So aggressive coming out from both of these sides right now, when Nose just jumps into the tower and then Panico just jumps on right on out. But it's going to be a 2v3 now. GDN and Ion left alone on the site. But, oh, it's going to be Cyber who just managed to get up onto that top floor there. The Nitros go out, but do miss. So the remote gas grenades do go out just to cover this revive. Hopefully the revive will go through, and yeah, Ion does get saved, but the diffuser is, of course, down. Has complete control of the tower here. Ion really going to have to try and do some work. Smokes are going to go out to try and cover the advance here, but all they have to do is just take a different angle. Cyber still holding on as Diogo comes for the flank. He's just down GDN, Cyber just down Ion, and Immortals clear it up and get round number 5. But regardless of how that round could have ended, it is going to be Team 1 who move into the second half of the map with an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the rounds that Team 1 took, they were very confident. Everything kind of fell together. That was the most kind of panicked, I think, they've generally looked. Obviously, we saw the jump out the window, which normally we've actually seen that quite a lot, but it didn't look like Panico was really expecting to run into anyone that quickly outside. So they kind of weren't able to pull off the frag. But again, we've said that is one of the harder points to hold. And when you've got the 3-point rotation and you've already won the 2 that are often deemed the easier ones, sometimes you got to make decisions. But Kids Dorm's main hole to go up against a mirror.
We'll see how it goes down as we move into round number 6. So it could be Team 1 starting out on their attack. I'm really surprised that Ion didn't stick big onto a glass there, since we've seen him be so effective on that. But we'll see how it goes down. I mean, I kind of would have liked a mute to come out from Immortals here and then stick big onto something else, just to try and give that fear that they might go downstairs.
Yeah, it also would have, or potentially forced the attackers to change up their lineup. Obviously, they have a ton of soft destruction possibility there in that setup, and if they're going to be getting control of underneath, then it just give them something to second guess their lineup is always a good move with arguably what 6 picks for.
Yeah, arguably. Let's see how it goes down, as we will see Immortals holding down the top floor. We normally see this as the first defense these days.
Yeah, especially when Mirror's off the board, which is very common for this map, just because you still get a lot of functionality, you still got a lot of form, and a lot of tactics can be devised that are generally reliable without a mirror in your kind of pool of operators that you can choose from. Less so, obviously, with Armory downstairs, but it's still a very solid point with a bit of creativity and touches. And then, yeah, that's generally how it kind of breaks down now.
Don't forget as well that this was one of the 2 successful attacks coming out from Immortals when they actually attacked. So the book was pretty common here, and it normally is, and it was pretty essential to this attack. So I think a lot of this is going to be depending on how well iBlax does, how much control he actually gets.
Yeah, they're moving a lot slower in terms of breaking into the building than Immortals. Immortals wanted to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible, especially with that Bucks. They're kind of weighing up the defense, stressing it a little bit, seeing where they can push from the first call comes out from Takebi, looking for answers. So they start to push through towards kitchen and try to clear off shower as well, slowly and steadily making their way towards meeting.
Yeah, and iBlax has managed to make his way through into the kitchen, so should have a bit of a whale of a time now, opening up a little bit more vertical play. And I'm kind of surprised that Immortals maybe aren't playing a little bit more into vertical play, and maybe playing someone in kitchen as well, but they won't be doing that. Frag grenades will go out from iBlax, unable to find anything just yet. And so you can get a little bit of soft destruction going here with his skeleton key, just opening up a little bit of vertical play, and he will be able to do so. Takes the mirror window straight off the board. Doing very well with that. Let's see if he can take the mirror off the board. But mirror, don't forget, has a little bit of soft destruction of her own. Ion takes Cyber off the board. However, that's the first member of Immortals gone. It's not looking too good for them now.
They're trying to just get 1 pick, potentially 2 before they move up. They are getting fed information. You can hear it going off, and that's a beautiful use of Ion's ability there. But Yuke, in the meantime, finds iBlax.
Yeah, lots of pre-fires coming out here. Ion trying to move up onto those white stairs with lots of vertical play coming through here, but none of it being successful just yet. still trying to go for those picks and still trying to go for it, but Iblax is down now, so that vertical play not going to be as advantageous now as it was before. You're going to try and push up into Kids doors, but don't forget that mirror window is popped, and Mirror's just getting shot at constantly, but Novice actually peeks out, wins the fight. Ion takes down one, and then Ion tries to move up, tries to take down more, but it's a 3v3. Not looking too good either way right now, but Team 1 is starting to run out of time. But from below, Hogsword does not find the kill. What is going on? Diogo finally goes down. To a nice shot coming out from Ion. The rotates are going to come out onto the white stairs as Ion makes his way up, takes down Novice, but Yuk takes down Ion in return. Yuk going to be all alone now in a 1v2. Does still have a Goon Man in his back pocket. Could go for a peek here, or could just stay, but he's not going to be able to do something here. He goes to the peak. Panico takes him down. He will get dropped. Team 1 to take round number 6.
Well, that was obviously a very, very tight battle towards the end of there. A lot of bullets flying either way. It seems to get a little bit dangerous, obviously. Brings it to a 4-2, but out of all the rounds that we've seen so far, I would say that was the closest. And obviously, it's just after half time. We are going for a remake, so we're just going to quickly take a break, I believe. But with the way that first round went, I'm very excited to see how the rest of this map goes.
Yeah, it's been some pretty good stuff going down indeed. We're going to take a little bit of a break here before we are going to come back into the match. Remember, it is 4-2 right now to Team 1. They are at a 2-round advantage. Hello and welcome back to OGA Rainbow6 PIT Latin America Season 2. We're going to get right back into our game of Team 1 versus Immortals, which so far has been looking pretty good for Team 1. Immortals have been struggling here so far, and definitely on that last defense.
Yeah, obviously, as we said a couple of times during what we've seen so far, Team 1, when they kind of came into the game, they were very much switched on. We saw some great communication, some great teamwork. The use of the Echo drone, as you both said, was brilliant. It really just fit into what they were trying to achieve, and that was very rare to see them in a moment of panic. However, Immortals, when things start going wrong, it seems that everything starts to unravel. It seems that everything starts to go wrong.
All right, looks like we are ready to get back into this game now. It's going to be a pretty good series now between Immortals and Team 1. Let's get right back into Oregon. Remember, it is 4-2 right now to Team 1.
So they just took the attack against Dorms. So they are free to choose back to Dorms if they want, but they do still have every other point available. So they could go down to basement, they could go down to laundry with a mirror, and they're opting, no, we want to try Dorms again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting going through. Let's see how it goes out. As we will see, yet another Kids Dorms. Dorms main hold defense, although, again, maybe would have liked to mute here. Maybe just a mute 6-pick. Maybe would have liked to glass here from Team 1, just because of how well Ion did on that glass. But he also had a pretty good role on the Ash entry frag.
Yeah, obviously what we did say was Team 1 were very measured. They were very kind of, not slow on their approach, but they were checking out all the possible angles. And then when they did actually come to the execute, yeah, it was a little bit shaky towards some of those trades towards the end, but they were pretty sturdy. But then obviously, as you've said, Ion is always, it was exceptional in the previous game on that glass, really just took control of a lot of firefights. But on the Ash as well, very, very good Ash player. It is up to Immortals to try to stop that fragging potential.
Definitely. Let's see how he goes through. See another Kids Dorms. Dorms main hold defense. But again, that vertical play was so much the reason why the attack won. I mean, Immortals did it on their attack. Kind of surprised they didn't expect it during their defense. But hopefully this time we do see a little bit more concentration on the downstairs defense. But honestly, it's not looking like it.
Yeah, I would say from some of the takes, obviously they got through the floor very quickly to get vertical control. And there was a little bit of luck on the side. To be fair, both of them. I think that the attackers could have got a frag or two, especially against that mirror when it started to close down. But then at the same time, after they let them off, they started getting counter picks and they started getting counter sights. So it'll be interesting to see.
You know, when it rains, it pours. We'll see how he goes down as Diogo going to be holding down onto the armory and opening up quite a lot of vertical play himself, but is going to get fairly lit up already. Also, vertical play getting opened up against him, and this is just the battle of armory right now through the garage. All the vertical play getting opened up by Ion as he will try to open it up and see what he can get in terms of kills. He's just going to run out. I mean, that's fair from Diogo, and I don't think that Team 1 realized that he just ran out of there either. So maybe also wasting quite a lot of time. But also something with this mirror, and I know I'm very overly critical of it, but
we're back on the mirror.
Also from below, this can happen right now from iBlack. He's going to throw out a nade, but doesn't manage to hit anyone with it. What? The spacing was terrible right then, but amazingly, Team 1 don't get it. But yeah, iBlacks can shoot out that mirror from below as well.
Yeah, they're kind of, again, they're locking down that vertical control. They're opening those mirrors. They're opening those angles, and you can see they are steadily shepherding. However, Immortals are starting to try to fight fire with fire. They're pushing slowly towards main entrance. They're wanting to find the fight downstairs. 3 of them, I believe, are currently playing underneath the point. However, it looks like Team 1 are starting to set up for a push around from Attic as well. Ion's drone is moving far through.
Yeah, they are going to be droning all of that out, seeing what is going on here. But Team 1, surprisingly, aren't actually making too much headway here, but they are going to be able to open up to that walk-in and see what they can do here. That mirror has been opened up, and they have managed to take control of the Armory Corridor. But Immortals still have a decent amount of control here. And you see one is lined up perfectly for a Nitro onto Armory Corridor.
Yeah, we've seen some beautiful Nitros thrown from there before, but again, that depends heavily on team communication and team awareness. You can see iBlacks is looking for the frag. Again, they know that people are playing around here. Sees the Valkyrie and did not pull the trigger.
But one will pull the trigger. Panico goes down, and beautiful shot coming up from him. The Valkyrie Romo eventually being eliminated finally by iBlacks' GDN. He just runs all the way into the site. He just goes for the plant. Immediately, no one could stop him right now. He's just going to try and stick it, but recognize he can't. And it will go down to the smoke. That's unfortunate. Cyber takes down Ion, Dio takes down Hogzod, and it's going to be all down to iBlacks. He scores a kill of his own. Yuk goes down, and the nade comes out into walk-in. Sees what he can do here, but can't see Cyber. Immortals take round number 7.
4-3. We see, again, a lot of that final 20 seconds of that round was a lot of fragging, a lot of executing coming at the same time. And you do think maybe Team 1 could buy themselves just a little bit more speed in the original clear to find themselves a little bit more time and confidence in the end. If they had shut down maybe just one, shut down the Valkyrie down in kitchen a little bit quicker. If they had have closed down some more possible action underneath, they might have found a lot more comfort in that final push.
We'll see how it goes as we move into round number 8 now. Looking pretty good so far for Team 1 still, but that attack was fairly slow coming out from them, and there was some major opportunities for them to score a lot of kills, and they either didn't take them or didn't know they were there.
Yeah, I think they need to find a little bit more aggression, a little bit more pepper in their step, because Immortals, what their game is doing much better at the minute is they are bringing that aggression. They're bringing those picks, and they're not scared of finding these firefights. And yeah, sometimes those decisions go against you, but if the other team is being a bit placid and a bit slow, it can completely break their attack.
It can break it down entirely. Let's see how it goes down as we will see round number 8 getting underway. And Team 1 still just a couple of rounds from locking this out, but Immortals have managed to close the gap just a little bit better. They're going to go for a launcher's defense now, and again, surprisingly, no mutes coming out from them.
No mute. We've seen a very little amount of mute, but Echo is back on the board for this hold. One has decided and opted to take the Echo instead. Obviously, they've taken off Valkyrie as well. It'll be interesting to see how much, again, they try to put towards meeting. We saw during that round that they just took, they had 3 operators playing underneath the point. So I'd like to see if they try and go for something similar, because the round that they lost on dorms, they had more people on point. They had almost every single defender was sitting on point.
No, they did. They played a very conservative defense. Let's see how conservative they play this. But Oregon tends to be very much about the roam game, and this is kind of one of the maps that we see Latin America teams sometimes do run a smoke on the roam. Yeah,
if there was a region that runs smoke on a roam and runs that operator where you really just don't expect to find them and fight them, LATAM. They really fly the flag for the roaming smoke, and it's not bad. I would always argue that it's a better anchor up, but it's not a bad roam op to have because of the shotgun, because of the utility. You can do a lot with a roaming smoke.
Right, we'll see how he goes down, because Diogo is going to be playing fairly aggressive on this smoke. Ion doesn't make his way through onto the watchtower to see what he can do there, but we're not seeing too much aggression from either side just yet. Just kind of playing around each other.
Yeah, that's the thing. As we said, this will play more into the hands of Team 1. What Immortals are doing very well is their aggression, their defensive aggression is getting those picks against Team 1 that is playing quite slow. However, the longer that they give Team 1, although that was very close to a frag there, the longer they give Team 1, the stronger Team 1 will be. So they need to start picking these fights as they are, because iON is already digging, but there's a great throw. Almost catches it in the meantime. Panico shuts down Novus.
Great early kill coming out from Panico there, but iON finally finds his end there as Yuk takes him down. It's going to be a 4v4 situation, but we're going to see mostly that the push from Team 1 is going to be coming from the backside of Attic here as Yuk just runs in, but what? Hoaxord goes down. What? Hoaxord pushes so aggressively there, doesn't use any of his utility at all. That is disappointing. The diffuser will get dropped down. Team 1 scrambling to recover this attack now.
What's the fact that the sword that Legion throw at iBlacks finds Cyber, but yeah, you wonder why the Ying didn't use a bit of utility. Get the frag. You know Legion's there. You went to pick the firefight on purpose, and you lost it. Yuk is still holding that corner there. Even the flashes are going to give something as pushes Yuk out of position. Who almost finds a beautiful pickoff. GDN. Heck of a kill there. And it is now 40 seconds left with 3 attackers against 2 of the strongest defenders left to hold.
Yeah, if you want anyone on the site left, it's got to be definitely Echo and Smoke. And Echo himself will manage to take down iBlacks. He tries to push through onto Laundry and tries to get a plant down quickly. But it's going to be GDN who has the diffuser. We'll try to push it on this backside to see what's going on. It's a 2v2 right now. The drops will come through into Electric. And you see Panico gets right up in the face of Diogo and takes him down. It's a 1v1. Panico with a beautiful shot onto one. Takes the round, but it's going to be one more round until the series is one map into their advantage.
So again, we're seeing a slow and steady, a weighted game. There was a couple of moments in that where you think you could have used your utility, you could have pushed that a little bit better. Obviously, GDN was a brilliant frag. You know, 1 frag on the board, but I would say it's, you know, impact frags. Impact frags. Take out players, and Yuk was really holding it down.
Yeah, but GDN did actually get injured because of that. And that could have very easily gone the other way if it was just maybe there's some microsecond more of firepower coming through there. We'll see how it goes down, as we'll see a laundry room and supply room defense coming out yet again from Immortals. Seemed pretty aggressive in start comparison to how their last defense was.
Yeah, they set themselves up again. What I said was they need to start trying to pick these fights sooner rather than later, because the later they are, I mean, it just plays into their style. It plays into what they're very good at, which is getting those fights. Maverick is being brought to the table for the first time, however.
Attackers need to locate,
yeah, I mean, as we say commonly on this one, you normally see a mute jammer sort of strategy going on here, very meta to do right now. And counter to that are Maverick and Thatcher, but Maverick has a lot of other uses here on Oregon, especially that attic area was a big problem for Team 1 last time.
Yeah, it was definitely a point of contention. Obviously, Yuk even rotated back up there and then found a kill against the Ying, which arguably maybe they shouldn't, but they did. And then, again, almost held it and got the down on the Thermite, unfortunately losing their life to GDN. So, yeah, it'll be how they rotate this Ying, how iBlacks decides to play it, because so far iBlacks has been pretty aggressive on that Buck front running.
Yeah, he has been pretty impressive indeed. Let's go through now into map point and see if Team 1 can lock it out. All they need is just one more attack. Just win an attack. It's that easy.
It's all there on the screen. It's all theirs for the taking as they start to close down from small tower offices. Now you can also see again, iBlacks is going to be one to watch how they want to rotate this Maverick, how they want to bring the Maverick into play. You can see it looks like most of Immortals are generally set up downstairs, down in meeting. So they're going to potentially get a very quick take towards Attic. iON is closing down. They're going to rotate upstairs first. They're a little bit concerned. We've seen this game from them. They drone, they feed information. They're very good at doing this. Yuk still playing the same place in Attic we saw before, opening themselves a rotation or just a sight line more than anything, actually. It's the spaghetti western waiting time now as they start to weigh up this defense as they have done so many times before.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go through now. Just about 1 minute into the action phase now, but this Attic is not actually reinforced this time, which is honestly kind of interesting. I really would have thought that Attic was, you know, it was a big point of contention last time. I would have thought there'd be still an aggressive hold coming up from Immortals, but they'll choose to play a little bit more conservatively this time. We will see iBlast just opening up with the Maverick, but it is going to be Yuk still holding down onto the Attic. Iron will start to open it up and sees what he can do here exactly as the ping comes out, but Yuk drops down the hatch, but does get taken out anyway. Beautiful flank watch coming out from Panico there. Takes him down. It's going to be a 4v5 now.
That's exactly what we said Team 1 are so good at. They just set and they move and they wait and they wait and then they execute. The only issue is when it takes a little bit too long. Cyber finds Panico, however, in the midst of that, and Maverick has downed the Jaeger. It's just going to go and clean up that kill, but again, pretty concerned of anyone else nearby, anyone watching over. Obviously, Immortals, they've set themselves up this sight line, set themselves up the rotation, but no, there's the clean up frag, and that is medium control all in theirs. Now they've got to start pushing against the Mirror, the Echo, and the Smoke with only 50 seconds left. The main hatch gets open down onto Laundry. You can hear the utilities are firing off, but again, their drone work, they're pushing these drones, they're getting them inside, and they're getting this information that they need to start to close down.
Yeah, all 3 hatches have been opened up, though, from Team 1, so they should be able to get in here. Ivlax not really, doesn't have flashbangs, and it's going to be GDN who tries to rotate all the way downstairs onto Laundry. Smoke should start to come out from both sides here, as Team 1 look to go for their execute in just a few moments, but Immortal still holding down as Novice gets the kill onto iBlast. Beautifully done from him. 10 seconds left to go on the push here. Smokes will go out. GDN goes for the plant and will be able to get it down. Nitro should start to come out here from Immortal sooner rather than later. Novice pushes all the way up. The Echo drone is out. GDN goes down. Hugzor goes down and Ion goes down. Immortals take round number 9 and still keep themselves in this for one more round.
One more round. Sure, now you can see, obviously, that was a very good lock off. The good thing that Immortals are doing, and I've said this a couple of times, is when they pick these firefights off longer and earlier and further away from the point, and it allows the anchors back on the point to just have so much more comfort in terms of, A, they'll have all of their utility pretty much to lock off. We saw those smokes start going down to preempt the push down the stairs onto Laundry at about 30 seconds in, and B, you've got some of the strongest anchors in the game left unscathed at the start of a fight, where so far, as we're seeing from the roamers, from Immortals, they're picking damage, they're dealing damage, they're getting downs and they're getting kills.
They are indeed. Let's see how it goes down as we move into map points still to Team 1. I mean, there's still only one round in this for Immortals to bring this into overtime, and I think they're very capable of taking it, but this Kinsdom's defense was a little bit mixed bag last time. I think that Team 1 could have easily taken this, but there was a lot of missed opportunities from them. Yeah,
it was a lot of missed frags. I think you can generally say that about a couple of Team 1's attacks, is where they've been letting themselves down. There's been missed opportunities. They've been a bit slow. They've been a bit kind of not wasteful, but they're not acting too quickly on their information. Whereas Immortals are much more, they're happy to get quite quick, quite aggressive. And again, it sometimes leads to missed opportunities, sometimes leads to mistakes, and there's the overstretching and overcompensating and overflexing and over-rotating. The word over always gets thrown around when the word aggressive is thrown around as well. But they've won this defense once, they've lost this defense once. They've won the attack once and lost the attack again as well. So this is anyone's to play for.
Well, we will see how it goes down as... I don't know, like, we've seen a fairly conservative defense from Immortals so far, but we've seen also an aggressive defense, and it tends to be the more aggressive Immortals get, the less successful they are.
Yeah, it's when they start making mistakes is when they quite get aggressive. They push themselves into T1's information, into their drones, and again, that is such a big part of their game, and such a very solid part of their game as well. It's really, really good and nice to see just how well they control information in terms of feeding it to the rest of their team. Just where they fail is they just, well, I say fail, where they could improve is just need to be a little bit quicker with it, a little bit more aggressive with it.
Yeah, they will move through now, see what they can do here exactly. Cyber going to be playing around onto Beating Hall, does start to get a little bit more aggressive with it, as Yuk also on the roam now in Dining Hall, trying to get a pick onto that big tower, but it looks like it will be indeed a big tower take coming out here from Team 1. Ion seeing if anyone's playing in the Attic, and Panico putting a Claymore down for the run out, but there's still a lot of work to be done here from Team 1, and they will start to do it now. Attic will start to get opened up from GDN, see what he can move it in through here. opens it up, and lots of drones will start to come through from Team 1. But, I mean, Diogo's still holding down Armory, but Iblax is going to score the first kill of the round. Novi's going to go down so early on as Iblax was replying outside of Kids' Dom's windows. But there's still lots to do here for Team 1 if they want to secure this into a win, but that is a good start.
See, obviously, they took Mirror at the window, so I've been curious to see what was going on there. You hear the Mirror window get popped. The grenades start to fly in from Iblax. There what looked like a couple of flashes as well. Beautiful take against Cyber there. Pushed him out of position with the grenades and managed to pick up the frag. There's Yuke on the run out with a double Ion and Iblax. That Claymore could not stop the Lesion, who picks up a beautiful 2K. And that could be a very, very important moment as the Candelas start to pop off. But you again, oh, one picks up the double, and Diogo locks it off.
I mean, either way that went down, it would have been everyone popping through onto that double window would have gone down from below, from the side, from above. It didn't matter. Beautiful picks coming out from Immortals, and Team 1 just getting a little sloppy there at the end. Will force them into overtime. Immortals get to defend first, but we've seen defense being slightly preferable here on Oregon.
Yeah, it's one of those maps. Obviously, they've both taken 3-2, which, you know, as the score goes, it's as balanced as it could be at Swap Over, but that doesn't mean of how the rounds have gone. And the defense so far for both these guys, when it's in play, has looked much more solid than the attack when the attack's in play. And I just think their comfort on this map definitely sits in the defensive side, but obviously we'll see how it goes. As we go back to dorms, it's like deja vu, and I assume they're going to be a bit more concerned about that run out this time.
Should be a little bit concerned. Let's see how it goes down as we see a Kids Dom's main hold defense. First round of overtime here for Immortals, but looking pretty good for them so far.
Yeah, they're obviously, I can't say it enough, their aggression plays so well into them. Yuke, again, completely locked that off, got the double kill. As he said, would have got more on the window. One, however, was there to clean it up. Diogo might have taken a shotgun accidentally there, half health.
He's just trying to make it fair.
Just trying to balance it out. Good player, good team, good sportsmanship there. But they are obviously... Novus is still hanging around the window where Novus got dropped last time, watching the drop down into the kitchen and supply and meeting. I guess trying to catch anyone off on that rotation, but be interesting to see what the Thermite of GDN does this time, because obviously we saw them start to push up Attic, and that was, to my knowledge, the last we saw of that.
It's interesting though, because they got control of Attic and everything, and they pushed through there, and they did that so they could repel onto the Kids' Dom's windows. But if that was their plan from the start, why not bring something like a Glaz or a Blackbeard here?
Been asking for Glaz all game, and unfortunately they are just not listening, but potentially because of the many delays or just not watching yet. But you can see they're instantly closing down. They're being much more direct this time. Obviously, the Jackal of Hugsword is going straight towards obviously the bedroom balcony. They've not wasting any time with hanging on windows. Iblax digging around underneath. They are trying to catch Immortals by surprise, but Immortals open up the fragging, one dropping Ion, and that is the Ash entry fragger off the board. Jackal trying to get some damage against this mirror window, push them off, and Panico finds Diogo, and taking care of a smoke is a big take.
Very big kill coming out indeed. Lots of vertical blade getting opened up here now. Iblax still on the board, of course. Has great opportunity to open up that vertical blade, but Cyber still on the roam downstairs. Not looking too good, but Team 1 have managed to make a decent amount of progress now to try and get in here. I wonder if they know that this Jaeger is in BT Cold, because if they don't, it's going to be pretty devastating.
Yeah, well, we've seen when they've kind of suffered is when they've trusted old information, trusted old intel, just based on how they're kind of acting on it. And as it got the 2K in the previous round, it's been the counter in rounds before with the Valkyrie rotating in kitchen, picking up frags. So you've got to kind of hope they're paying attention.
You should hope for that indeed. Cyber is going to move through. Sees what he can do. Novi's getting very aggressive with it now on this double window. He's going to go for the run out. And he goes for the nitro as well, but that doesn't find anyone. That is unfortunate. That was so brave from him.
That was exceptionally brave. A couple of feet over to the right, and that might have actually got a very big frag. But iBlack's the buck finds Cyber. Hugsword still trying to push down. GDN wants to open the connector wall. Panico pretty injured, so they obviously did suffer any of that. But Yuke finds Hugsword in the meantime, and Panico still has 2 damaging lifelines. Can start blowing open Yuke's hold. Yuke is finding himself pushed back further and further, and you can see Novus is rotated underneath. Somehow doesn't pick up the frag there. Mistiming, throwing that goo mine in. Really suffering, waiting for One and the mirror to come and back them up. Please help your Lesion.
GDN does have the diffuser in hand. iBlack is going to hit one of those Lesion mines, but what? GDN just walks into the site and takes down Yuke, but from below, Panico goes down. All between this 2v2 now, but Novi's rotates off the site. He's going to try and come up into Armory Corridor now to try and deny the plant going down, but it is going to start going down. But oh, what a shot from iBlack. Shuts down Novi's. Immediately the diffuser goes down successfully. All down to 1 in a 1v2. Let's see if he can take it through. He's onto the top of the white stairs. Reloads, go for those pre-fires. Knows whereabouts iBlack is, but can't seem to get a frag just yet. He needs to start pushing. He needs to find this gunfight. He needs to get these kills, and he will be able to successfully down iBlack there. Nice shot from him. It's going to be all down to him and GDN, who's managed to rotate all the way onto the top of the small tower. It's going to be a very hard fight to find, especially with the MPX at long range. He's going to have to find a headshot if he wants to take this in. GDN is going to be slowly just trying to head glitch over that, but can't quite find a kill. But no, GDN does take him down. It was a valiant effort from One, but Team One will take round number 11.
That's a very good attack, to be fair. That was... They locked it off. The amount of time he had to rotate all the way to that roof to get that hold just shows that they could have collapsed a little bit earlier, could have pulled back to help the Lesion, and then Lesion obviously did their best to try to buy time and then kind of run in for the fight there, which is maybe not the smartest move at the time. Again, but you do think, obviously, we saw Mirror go for the run out on the C4. Imagine if they still had that C4 in pocket when the diffuser was going down and they were underneath.
Just imagine.
Just imagine.
Just use your imagination. We'll go through now into overtime match point. Yet again for Team One. And let's see how they can take it through. But Immortals, if they take this attack, they take this to max OT and give themselves yet another chance on that defense. But still looking pretty preferable for Team One right now.
Yep, obviously this was Immortals map pick as well, but Team One has chosen it themselves earlier on in this very tournament. And so they're very happy to come to this map. They're very happy to play this map. And it's showing. It's obviously showing. Cyber bringing the buck. We saw that was very effective previously as well. Hibana, Jackal. We've seen Jackal get bought a few times. Hasn't had a huge amount of use, but I think a big part for Immortals will be shutting down that echo and shutting down that information of GDN.
No, definitely, but that's going to be hard to do without an IQ here. Yep. Which, you know, I may mention just a couple of times or so through these games, but... They
bought an IQ when they were on their final...
Yeah, we've only seen one IQ,
and it worked
really
well.
So, it's kind of surprising to not see an IQ being brought here, but clearly not a Latin America play style at all, as we will see a lot of aggressive reinforcement being done here from Team One.
Yeah, it seems like they want to trust that Immortals are going to push as aggressively as they have done. We've seen they've been very forward. They've been very spear-like, normally led by what was the buck of Cyber. But it'll be interesting to see how they kind of translate, because that would play perfectly into Team One's hands in their defense, as it has done before. Team One are very good at setting up, very good at just knowing roughly where people are going to come from, and it's kind of hard to push them out of that.
Yeah, it is kind of hard. Let's see how he goes through, as Cyber has already managed to find his way through into this corridor, and he's managed to open up quite a lot of vertical play already, as Novi's getting ready to catch anyone on this rotate. Lots of good drone work being done here from Immortals so far. GDN almost getting caught out by that vertical play getting opened up here. The rotates are going to start to come through as Team One starts to shut down this aggression, but no kills going out either way just yet. Cyber still convinced he can open up this vertical play and get a kill through. Yeah, he's doing a lot of digging. To be fair, he's getting very close. Again, Immortals are getting those spots. You can see Team One are kind of panicking. They don't really have a way to shut it down. No Jaeger to catch those grenades. Ion sees Cyber and somehow doesn't get the frag. Cyber manages to pull it
out. A lot of pressure coming on them. GDN, just Diego traded by Novus, however, and iBlax is in a little bit more comfort whilst holding towards Kitchen from meeting. You can see, though, a minute 30, and Immortals are doing a great job at pushing Team 1 out of their defense.
Pretty good job indeed, Team 1. Still holding down quite well onto Meeting Hall, however, still going pretty well for them. Also, drones coming out from Immortals. But yeah, as you said, they're starting to lose quite a lot of control, and playing too aggressively has meant they've lost a lot of operators that they would have otherwise needed to stop down this late round push, especially the Echo going down that early is not going to allow him to deny the plant later on.
Playing your Echo in dorms on a basement hold on Laundry is a curious decision, I think, especially obviously you've got Panico, he's playing the top of tower, he's playing the mid of tower even. You've had your smoke, already 2 gas grenades down because he was trying to keep control of Kitchen. You just think maybe they could have pulled that back a little bit. Maybe they didn't need to throw what are such influential operators so far from point.
Flashbangs are going to go out, and iBlax is going to try and come underneath, but Panico all the way from the top of Attic takes down Novi's, looking pretty good for him. 20 seconds left to go on the clock. Panico finds another, Cyber goes down! Oh no, this is looking terrible right now for Immortals. 1 left alone, but the smoke will finish him off as he finishes off iBlax. Team 1 take round number 12, and they take the map 7-5.
I think Panico who really came in there for Team 1 at the end of that. It was very much that dock work. I believe obviously picked up 1 frag because they were setting up for a push, you could tell. And if it had been a little bit slower on that, if it had been 5 seconds slower on that, I could have very much seen that going Immortals' way. So definitely good play there from the Doctor himself.
The Doctor himself, indeed, coming through there. We're going to take about a 3-minute commercial break before we push into map number 2. But before we do that, we are going to remind you guys just about the giveaway